In a bustling city by the coast, there lived a woman named Amina. She was as beautiful as the morning sun and as graceful as a queen. Amina came from a family of wealth, and everywhere she went, people whispered about her elegance. She was the daughter of Chief Aliyu, a man respected for his business in the trade of gold, spices, and fabrics. Amina, however, was known for her kindness and wisdom as much as her wealth, and her charm attracted many suitors. Her family, though, had their sights set on the wealthier suitors, and Amina prepared herself for marriage to a man who could match her family's fortune. Yet deep down, she yearned for love that spoke to her heart. Two wealthy men, both involved in the lucrative crude oil trade, pursued Amina's hand in marriage. The first, Femi, was a suave businessman who dazzled with his knowledge of the world. He showered Amina with precious gifts and promised her a life filled with luxuries beyond her dreams. The second, Jamal, was quieter but equally affluent. He spoke of building a life together where their wealth could be used to uplift the poor. Both men seemed promising, but neither seemed to touch her heart. Despite the glamour, Amina felt something was missing, and she began to feel the burden of being wanted solely for her beauty and family status. Needing clarity, Amina decided to take a break from the city's expectations. She traveled to her parents' village, where she hadn't been since childhood, hoping the simplicity of village life would calm her spirit. Her parents were delighted to see her and threw a small celebration. The village was abuzz with her presence, admiring the wealth she carried even in her simple clothing. It was during her stay that she met Musa, a humble bicycle repairer known for his honesty and gentle spirit. He didn't notice her as anyone special, speaking to her as he would to any other woman. And for the first time, Amina felt seen for who she truly was. As days turned into weeks, Amina found herself drawn to Musa's kindness and simplicity. Unlike Femi and Jamal, Musa did not try to impress her with riches or grand gestures. Instead, he shared with her the stories of the village, the little victories and struggles of his life. With him, she felt a warmth that Femi's wealth and Jamal's promises had never sparked. Slowly, whispers spread among the villagers, some saying she was under a charm, others gossiping that the rich men would soon come to take her back. Amina's connection with Musa deepens as they bond over the beauty of simple joys, teaching her that happiness does not always come with wealth. In the end, Amina chooses Musa for the love they share, defying expectations and shocking her family and the wealthy suitors. Though they come to accept her decision in time, this leads to a series of events that impact the lives of all those in the village, making for a rich tale that touches on love, identity, and the beauty of living simply. Amina found herself spending more and more time with Musa. They walked through the village fields, talking about dreams, family, and life's quiet beauty. With Musa, Amina laughed freely and spoke without fear of judgment. Her heart began to recognize a kind of love that didn't need riches to bloom, a love that grew from respect and understanding. She knew that her family would disapprove, and her heart wrestled with the burden of their expectations. How could she choose a life so different from the one they had prepared for her? Meanwhile, Femi had noticed Amina's absence and traveled to the village to present his formal proposal. He arrived with a grand entourage, dressed in flowing silk robes, and offered her family gifts of gold, diamonds, and a promise of a life in a mansion overlooking the ocean. Femi spoke of building an empire together, where Amina would be at his side, admired by all. But his words fell hollow in her ears. Though he spoke of future plans, she felt like a part of a business arrangement, not a partner. As Femi continued his attempts to woo Amina, she began to see another side of him. Though generous with his wealth, he was often short-tempered and dismissed the villagers with condescension. When he encountered Musa one day, Femi laughed at him openly, questioning how someone so poor could dream of a woman as refined as Amina. This treatment disturbed Amina, reminding her of the coldness of wealth without compassion. She felt her heart lean further away from Femi, and closer to Musa, who saw every person's worth, rich or poor. Not long after, Jamal, the second suitor, arrived. Unlike Femi, Jamal came quietly, bringing with him only a few trusted men and modest gifts for her family. Jamal admired Amina's spirit and expressed his desire to create a partnership rooted in kindness. He shared his vision of using their wealth to help others, touching on Amina's own values. However, Jamal spoke of wealth and privilege in a way that reminded Amina of her life in the city, a life that had grown stale. She respected Jamal, but the idea of living in luxury still didn't feel like the freedom her heart craved. The villagers continued to talk, with some saying that Amina must be under a powerful charm. They couldn't understand why such a wealthy and beautiful woman would show interest in a bicycle repairer. Mothers began to warn their daughters to avoid Musa, fearing he possessed some mystical power to lure women of status. Despite the gossip, Amina and Musa's bond grew stronger, and they found solace in each other amidst the rumors. One evening, Amina and Musa sat together under a starlit sky, sharing stories of their childhood. Musa confessed his own dreams, to one day open a small workshop, to make enough to give back to his community, and to live a simple life filled with purpose. Amina felt her heart stir as she listened. She knew then that her happiness was not tied to the life of grandeur that awaited her in the city but was here, in the simplicity of Musa's dreams. When Amina's family learned of her deepening relationship with Musa, they were furious. Her mother pleaded with her, saying she deserved a man of her status who could provide all she needed. Her father, Chief Aliyu, reminded her of their family's reputation, accusing her of bringing shame upon them by associating with a poor man. But Amina was resolute. She loved her family dearly, but she could no longer ignore the call of her heart. Hearing of the rumors, Jamal grew more desperate and arranged a second meeting with Amina's family. He promised to care for her, respect her values, and create a charitable foundation in her name. He was a good man, Amina thought, but as he spoke of their future, she could only think of the life she'd already begun to build with Musa. She respectfully declined Jamal's proposal, a choice that shocked her family and filled them with dismay. With her family's reluctant blessing, Amina prepared to marry Musa. Though her decision had divided the family, her father ultimately accepted her choice, seeing the happiness she radiated with Musa. Together, they decided to host a modest celebration in the village, and Amina's wealthier relatives eventually arrived, bearing gifts of support and curiosity for the life she was about to embrace. On the day of their wedding, Amina wore a simple dress, woven by village artisans and adorned with her mother's heirloom necklace. Musa stood by her side, dressed in traditional garb, his eyes filled with joy. As they exchanged their vows, Amina felt an overwhelming sense of peace. She had chosen a life not for riches or status, but for love, companionship, and purpose. Together, Amina and Musa built a life that was filled with laughter and the joy of simple things, lifting each other and their village in ways no amount of wealth could achieve. And so, Amina's story didn't end with a grand mansion or a powerful empire but with a life full of love and happiness, a legacy that outlasted wealth and touched the hearts of everyone who knew them. Life with Musa was not without its challenges, but Amina found joy in every step of their journey. Together, they set up a small workshop where Musa taught young villagers the art of bicycle repair. Amina took it upon herself to manage the finances and turned the workshop into a community space where the village youth could learn and earn a small income.